Also, yes, what do you presume you're going to do to it, weak, squishy little normal man?
You'll lure it in, and I'll smash it from behind.
それは青崎が考えてくれ。得意だろ、そういうの。
The commander who had the overall picture was responsible for delegating roles to their teammates.
Yeah, it's your job to tell me how I can help.
It was futile to depend on someone who was unable to grasp the situation or evaluate the enemy's strength. Soujuuro was proud to share that he knew this. Well, you could be bait.
Dang, he'll follow orders, huh?
He spoke the truth. Aoko was the only one who knew both Soujuuro and the automata. That was why he pointed out that following her orders to the best of his ability was the only thing he could do. I really wish they would just, like, use automaton routinely and not keep swapping around between automata and automaton.
I believe automata is plural, too.
But there's clearly only one.
So far, but yes. The automata should be the automaton. But
right.
Yeah.
The other thing is, I have deep-seated, like, very, very rooted, feelings on the word automata at this point. And also, I can't, like, I hear it pronounced differently in my head every time.
Oh.
So back during college, I had a TA who, during the one, like, CS class, was like, okay, like, we get in, today we're going to talk about the deterministic finite automata.
Huh.
So I can't hear it pronounced as anything other than automata. Like, it's not right in my brain, but I know that's not how it's pronounced.
Yeah.
No, that's not. Dude was Polish. Like,
okay.
Like, literally, like, from Poland.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And had the accent to fucking prove it. Like, he was understandable, but
yeah,
it
definitely
was
some
it
things.
was very, very thick. And his pronunciation of automata is just stuck in my head forever.
Nice.
Robert somebody. I can't remember his last name.
I don't know if I had him.
I don't think so. That was well after you switched programs.
Yeah.
It was like junior year, I think. Sarge might remember the guy. I think he had him as well. It may have seemed as though Soujuuro had surrendered his capacity for self-thought, but in fact, in accepting that he was helpless, he was in fact giving Aoko his complete trust.
Right, that makes sense. He's putting his faith in Aoko that she'll know what to do.
Again, like, you could have not used in fact twice in the same sentence like that.
Yeah, I know.
Guys, come on. You're professionals. Please. I'm begging you.
じゃあ、私の指示に 100% 従うってこと？
ああ。それに、これは恩とか義理の話じゃない。
I'm doing this out of a sense of not wanting to die today.
一人だと分が悪いから二人でかかるだけだ。善意でも好意でもない。取引って言わないか？こういうの。
Yeah, that's one way to look at
for
it.
some reason I expected that to be in English, and I think that's just Musashi poisoning my brain.
Yeah.
Because, like, I cannot tell you how many times she just starts speaking English words in the middle of her sentences in Samurai Remnant, and everyone else is looking at her like she's insane. And she's like, sorry, let me translate that back into Japanese for you.
She spent too much time in
I've
America.
spent too much time in the 21st century. His eyes sparkled as if this was bartering in its truest form, because it kind of was. This child must have learned that from Tobimaru, Aoko thought. Though she refused to let him see it, underneath she cracked a smile. Sure, he'd gotten the best of her just now, but there were times when defeat wasn't the worst outcome in the world.
労働と報酬ってわけね。それなら理にかなってる。
Yeah.
言いたくないけど。
She relaxed her shoulders and sighed, She's in the hair flip position.
Yeah.
Her face cracked into a wicked smile, as if her fears had suddenly washed away.
それ結構私の好みよ。
Group up and hit it till it dies. My favorite strategy.
Aw, yeah.
Aoko repaid Soujuuro's trust in equal measure.
"結構きついかもね。あなたの役目。
Yeah, I bet.
Aoko warned Soujuuro, moving as fast as she could without her footfalls causing a din of noise or tripping over the high-heeled over knee-high boots she was wearing.
It's fine.
It's very fashionable. It's just not very practical. Soujuuro remained near the center of the spiral maze on the second floor.
実を言うと、もう一つ用意しておいた仕掛けがあるの。自分でもやりすぎだって呆れたもんだけど、あなたがここに来るのが遅かったから、ちょっと興に乗っちゃって。
You made an extra trap just because he was late?
She was bored.
Wow.
仕掛けって
How brutal is this trap?
Soujuuro tilted his head like a squirrel as Aoko freely discussed the final ace up her sleeve.
Oh, here we go.
地下の柱に着火型のちょっとした魔術式を刻んでおいたの。
Oh.
中心の柱に点火することで、
You'll
連
just
鎖
collapse
的
the
に
whole
他の柱
building?
に仕掛けた魔術も起動する。
Okay.
How do you activate that from without dying?
Yeah.
ジャミングを食らう前に作ったものだから、直接魔力を叩き込めば一気にこういくわ。
Soujuuro was a little unsettled by how unclear that last bit was.
青崎こうじゃわからない。できるだけ明確にどこまで爆破する気だ。
Now he's concerned.
Quite a lot.
How much were you planning to blow me up?
Very.
もしかして俺早まったか。
Also, are you a terrorist?
いや、その単なる保険っていうか。
It's just insurance, you know. I wasn't just mad at you for being late.
追いかけっこの途中であんたを見失ったら、いっそ建物ごと爆破しちゃおうかな。
You know, the whole building.
It was just in case you were faster than I expected.
Yeah.
It was her policy to be thorough to the end, after all. She laughed in embarrassment saying it out loud, though.
いくらなんでも徹底しすぎてる。
Ain't no kill like motherfucking overkill.
It'll be fine.
Faced with Aoko's cruelty, Soujuuro forgot about the situation at hand and protested from the bottom of his heart.
Yeah.
Look, I don't mind if you kill me, but don't explode a building
At
and
least
drop
leave
it
a
on
body
me.
behind.
何よ、いいじゃない。そのおかげでなんとかなりそうなんだから。
She shot back. Aoko dashed down the corridor, mumbling things that probably would have sent Soujuuro packing if he heard them. The
Jeez.
strategy was simple. Aoko would use the escape route to the right and avoid the puppet while making her way down to the basement. Upon reaching the central pillar, she would infuse the formula she'd prepared with magical energy and escape.
Uh-huh.
Once ignited, it would take about a minute for the chain reaction to spread throughout the whole house of mirrors, and another minute for the building to collapse.
Okay. Oh, alright.
She would be cutting it a little close, but because she had committed the maze to memory, she was sure she could make it out in time. Aoko assumed that the chain reaction caused by the pillar would clear the barrier that the puppet had placed at the entrance.
Well, you would hope.
And even if it was strong enough to withstand the blast, it wouldn't be able to stay standing once the foundations buckled. Soujuuro's escape was assured as long as the formula in the basement was activated. How do you figure? Next came the most important part. The automaton, please pick one,
I know.
was at a disadvantage in the obstacle-laden house of mirrors and was unable to move at full speed.
In the mirror room, yeah.
It was near the center of the second floor if it was near the center of the second floor when the building collapsed, it would be caught up and crushed by it. So the problem was keeping the puppet on the second floor until Aoko could make it down to the basement.
当てにしたからね、しずきくん。 せめて3分ぐらいは引きつけて。
This is just the spirit bomb ploy.
Keep it busy while I charge up their killer move.
Right?
Yeah.
Vegeta, I got an idea. We're gonna use the spirit bomb. Why? It's never worked. What do you mean? It works all the time. You use it against me, didn't work. Use it against Frieza, didn't work. You didn't even bother to try using it against Cell.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I knew it wouldn't work. But it will this time.
It's different, guys. Aoko's just gonna need 3 minutes, and
It always works in the movies, Vegeta.
3 minutes, huh?
If that failed to work, him luring it down to the first floor would be the next best thing. She understood perfectly well the danger she was putting Soujuuro in. But his lucky streak and running speed were nothing to scoff at. And if he died, mission accomplished.
True, fair enough.
ただ逃げるだけなら、もしかしてとんでもないことをしてくれるかも、あいつ。
Aoko made her way through the hidden passage of the maze, her hopes pinned on Soujuuro. Meanwhile, well out of earshot, Soujuuro was readying himself for another desperate chase.
He's been doing a lot of running tonight.
He calmed his beating heart using a method of his own making, called taking a second.
Yeah.
What mattered most was that he remained calm. The plan was simple enough, and Aoko's orders were succinct and easy to understand. Stay here, don't die.
Yeah.
10メートルぐらいの距離を保って、できるだけゆっくり通路を3、4周すること。横道は鏡のつなぎ目で覚えて。ここなら左回りで6、3、7、2枚目にあるから、そこをぐるぐる回ってれば比較的安全よ。
Huh.
It was essentially a looping marathon. As long as Soujuuro maintained a distance of the puppet's extended arm, and just enough that she could continue to track him, she should continue chasing him indefinitely.
Right. As long as he's close enough for it to still follow him.
Well, you want to be slightly longer than the distance of its extended arm, though, because
Well,
otherwise it can grab you.
I think he just means consider the length of the arm when he's planning, but yeah.
Simple though the task was, Soujuuro was putting his life on the line as bait.
Yeah?
And then there was the final order to run as fast as he could to the exit when the building began to sway.
Yeah.
結構じゃなくてかなりきついんじゃないか
It's
なこれ。
kinda crazy, yeah. When the building starts to explode, run. Just do the thing.
Just run like hell. Run like your life literally depends on it. Because it does. He nervously stuck his head out from around the corner. He could hear the sound of the music box from the other side of the corridor. First, he had to make eye contact with it. Then head through the shortcut on the right and begin their game of tag.
Whoop.
He spotted it and braced himself. The
Huh?
That's a funny positioning. The little like end of line like click the button to advance thing kind of looks like a single tear coming out of his eye.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm so sad now.
Yeah.
Closer. Closer. Fearing that her arm could fly at him at any moment, he went over Aoko's instructions in his head.
あれ
Oh shit, I can't remember them.
Please don't tell me you forgot.
However, he couldn't quite remember which pane led to the first hidden passage. The third, the sixth, the ninth?
There it is. Now he actually has a teardrop.
The 12th? Maybe the 15th.
Huh.
I'm only going to consider multiples of 3, though. No.
Oh.
He was sure that was mistaken. He was confident he had it memorized moments ago, but his nerves had gotten the best of him and his head was spinning. Then, Soujuuro realized that the sound of his pursuer was beginning to growing distant.
To grow. Guys, Come on.
And at an incredible speed.
Oh, it's just running towards Aoko?
Nani?
Spider mode?
The unusual silhouette of the puppet astonished him. Before it had taken the form of a beautiful girl. But now it made a bizarre transformation and returned to the first floor to pursue her primary target.
Wow, okay.
いや、それは。
Oh,
Uh-oh.
this sucks.
God,
Oops.
God damn it, I had one job.
Wow.
Soujuuro was no longer sure what to do. Aoko didn't tell me what to do if this happened.
Yeah.
With not even the time to mourn his failure, the puppet had vanished out of sight. I'll be of help, just let me go. Or so he had said, but now he couldn't follow through.
さて、
So,
自分はこれからどうしよう。
huh.
Alone, he tilted his head in frustration. He spoke into the darkness as if Aoko would be there to answer him.
Well, find a stick and chase it down, I guess.
That very moment, having arrived on the first floor, Aoko quickly understood what had transpired above her. She didn't even have to strain her ears to hear the puppet.
Oh.
Even during its heyday, this attraction had never made sounds like the one she heard coming toward her now. It was the sound of despair, as if a horde of monstrous hedgehogs were scraping their way past the mirrors in her direction.
ドジ3分どころか10秒持たないってどういうことよ。
Well, he's actually not dead, but...
Rather than buying her time, Soujuuro had in fact stolen hers. She dreamed of cursing him for failing to fulfill his one job.
複数の足音ってことは2足から多脚に切り替えたのね。
The echoes made it sound like the footsteps of dozens of feet. To Aoko, it sounded like a giant six-legged spider tearing its way down the corridor. So not a spider at all.
Well, yeah, just an insect.
It was little wonder that it was so much faster than before. Its perception of its surroundings through echolocation was of particular use in the dark.